Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. I forgot to put the thing over there. Let's see. Let me try that again. Okay, let me take that away. Okay, got to try to bring the slide up again. Yep, let's try that one more time. One more time. Okay, and let's see who was here first. Fancy, thank you so much for being here first. There we go. Um, Upstaged again, or in the process of being upstaged. You know how it is. Somebody received a new membership. Thank you very much for helping with that, Lydia Washington. And don't know who the lucky recipient is, but congratulations. Okay. And love that. Love that. I told you that was a gift from my nephew. That is beautiful. Although it took me a while before I realized that it seems as though the lion has three front legs and two back legs. Although, oh, never mind. Let me stop being silly. But anyway, he's got five legs. Lucky lion, huh? Connie Balmer! Thank you so much for joining us, Connie Balmer. So, Meghan Markle's sweatshirt sparked business boom for Chicago entrepreneur. Wow, lucky lady. There's a entrepreneur in Chicago who has a thriving business. And anyway, well, let me just share that story with you. There we go. Meghan Markle's sweatshirt prompted early end of maternity leave for business owner. Game changing. Yes, game changing end of maternity leave after the Duchess of Sussex wore a product from her Chicago based shop. Anne Leachman tells People magazine, I had to do a double take and almost didn't believe it was one of ours. Yeah, she almost couldn't believe her eyes. Now, you know, that is like one of the oldest cliches in the world. I couldn't believe my eyes. But in this case, very, very true. I mean, just imagine that you're on maternity leave and you're resting and bonding and, you know, thinking about everything. And then all of a sudden, the double take. The double take. You notice that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is wearing one of your sweatshirts. Now what? Now get to work. That's what it means. That means get back to work. If nothing else, it means just get back to work. That means your vacation is officially over. I say that so many times, though, don't I? I say, I wonder what it's like for someone that gets that phone call. All of a sudden, your phone blows up and it's ringing, and you got all these messages. Did you see it? Did you see it? See what? Meghan. What about her? She's wearing one of your shirts. That is a phenomenon that has happened again and again. And nobody moves merchandise for entrepreneurs like Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. So let's see, take a look here. And you can see what they have been posting on Instagram today. Very cool. Wait, where is that? Oh, okay. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. Okay, that was 4 hours ago. One moment. I have misplaced the People magazine article. Oh, and by the way, for those of you guys who told me that, well, no, I'm not going to say that right now. It's about something else. I won't change subjects right now, but it just kind of caught my notice. Oh man, where did it go? Ah, there it is right there. Okay, sorry about that. I misplaced the article, but now I got it. All right, so it says Meghan Markle's latest Instagram post included quite a surprise for a Chicago business owner. On February 4th, the Duchess of Sussex shared a selfie style video on Instagram in which she shared her excitement about receiving Billie Eilish merchandise for a teen whose home was damaged in the recent Los Angeles fires. Meghan was sported was sporting, that is, a black crew neck sweatshirt featuring the names of her two children, Archie and Lilibet. Well, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Let me make sure I get that right. Stitched along the collar, and the product from the Club Chain Stitch, that's the name of it, Club Chain Stitch, a woman owned business that uses a 1920s chain stitch machine to create custom products. Owner Ann Leachman tells People magazine she became aware of the Duchess of Sussex's faction choice when a friend sent her the video asking if it was from her company. I was stunned. I had to do a double take, and I almost didn't believe it was one of ours, even though the writing on the shirt is in my literal handwriting, Leachman said. She had to do a double take. Leachman says it is a regular random order made through the shop in 2022. Meghan has had this shirt since 2022. However, Meghan's name was nowhere on the order, so I thought nothing of it and never put the connection together with her children's names as the text choice. That explains how surprised I was to see her wearing it over 2 years later. You see, I didn't know that 2 years later, and Meghan is wearing it. I'm not sure if it was a gift or if Meghan ordered it herself, she adds. Either Meghan loves to support small women owned business handmade products, or she has a great friends. Yeah, she has great friends in her life who do. Likely both. Leachman was taking a break from her shop for maternity leave after welcoming her first child in November when the news of Meghan's support broke. I was planning on easing back to work very slowly by opening the shop up a week from now, she says. But after I saw the reel of Meghan wearing a club chain stitch sweatshirt, I knew it was a game changing moment for a small business like mine. And I had to open up early. It has been a wild way to come back to work. And I am so grateful for all the orders and support. She expressed excitement on social media, writing, "What a way to come back from maternity leave. I had planned to keep the shop closed until next week, but decided to open it early because of the coolest thing ever. The coolest thing ever. Megan's custom shirt sells for $73, with buyers able to personalize their design with one of three word symbols, such as a heart or moon, and a choice of where to put the text on the clothing. Club Chain Stitch also offers t shirts, hats, and bags, all customized at a Chicago studio. Chain stitch embroidery is unlike modern machine embroidery because there are no computers or program design involved. According to the company's website, the stitching is guided by hand, giving each piece that old school hand drawn vibe due to the handmade nature. Every item is slightly one of a kind. So there you go. Another one of those stories about Meghan that I love so much. Winsome Jones, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you so much for being here. So, don't you just love those stories? I love it. So, the very small uh, Instagram post that came out today, I'm going to try to decipher those for you. So, oh, wait, where am I at here? There we go. So the very first one there says, "What a way to come back from maternity leave. I had planned to keep the shop closed until next week, but decided to open up early because of the coolest thing ever. So all of the other products in the shop that is, are restocked now too." And then the next one says, "Megan is wearing the unisex black sweatshirt. She has her kids' names, Archie and Lily, embroidered on the collar." And the next one says, oh, I can barely see that one. Uh huh. Okay. It shows a link. Uh, yeah, it just has a link there. And at the bottom, it says, one of the squatties posted this. They said, "Meghan Markle wearing a simple black shirt and helping a small business owner on maternity leave elevate her company. I will always support you, Meghan Markle." How sweet is that? Boy, I tell you, once the Sussex squad gets a hold of things, and you all know that a great deal of those orders are coming from squatties. You all know that. Hello, Ivy here. Hey, Ivy, thank you so much for joining us. As a matter of fact, wait, where is it at there? Okay. I am going to pin Ivy's channel at the top of the chat. There you go. Is it there? Yes. There's Ivy's channel up there at the top of the chat. Remember, yet another Sussex friendly space, although Ivy's work is not restricted to Harry and Meghan. It has so much more redeeming social value, so you just have to check it out for yourself. Heather Stroud, thank you so much for being here. Okay, take that away. And what's up with all this small print? Okay. The next one says, oh, now we don't like page 6, but it is free advertisement for this entrepreneur in Chicago. So, what does it say there? In a selfie style video, Meghan posted Tuesday, put on display a black cruise neck by Club Chain Stitch. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then the next one from In Style magazine. Look at all this free advertisement this woman is getting for her company. Isn't this great? And this is something that Meghan has had for like 2 years. 2 years she's had this shirt. Could you imagine 2 years? It'd be so much different if it was last month, last week, but 2 years? And then out of the blue, oh, the Duchess of Sussex is wearing one of your shirts. Really? Really? Meghan Markle, black sweater, had the cutest hidden Archie and Lilibet shout out. The sweetest personal touch. The simple black sweatshirt was completely plain, apart from some white cursive text embroidered on one side of the neckline. Okay, and yes, she's wearing her Cartier, etc., etc. And then next, if that wasn't enough, here comes page 6 again. So Meghan Markle shows love for children Archie and Lilibet with customized sweater. Oh, okay. Wait, I cannot see that. Wait, let me move it. All right. Guys, the sweatshirt is Club Chain Stitch. I've never hit order so fast. Only $73? Yes, $73. The Duchess of Sussex showed love for her children by rocking a customized sweatshirt in a recent Instagram reel. Yes, only $73. That's not bad. I mean, for something customized like that, that is not bad at all. And very bespoke. You know what I'm saying? You got to love that. And then take a look here. So I went to their website so that I can learn about the company, right? And on their webpage, it says all Club Chain Stitch products are embroidered on a vintage 1920s chain stitch machine. Chain stitch embroidery is unlike modern machine embroidery because there are no computers or program designs involved. The stitching is guided by hand, giving each piece that old school hand drawn vibe. Due to the handmade nature, every item is slightly one of a kind. All of our products are embroidered at our at our studio in Chicago, Illinois. Slow fashion forever. Ah, I like that. Slow fashion forever. So there you go. I wonder if they do jackets too. That looks pretty cool. Ah, you know what? I just hope she remembers that little girl that she's been dragging around in the pictures. I hope she remembers that that is not for her to keep. That little girl belongs to another family, and hopefully she will remember that she doesn't actually attend that class. You know, I could imagine she would want to stay with those kids because everything that they are learning are on Kate's level, right? So it'd be easy for her to understand everything instead of, being around all the big kids. So, yeah, I could understand why she rode they said she rode the bus with the kids. She rode the bus because she thought she belonged there. That's why she rode the bus. Everything was right on her level. Everything. She can understand all the words. No big words to confuse her. So I'm not surprised. Yeah, no big words to confuse her. Everything was kiddie friendly. Yes, mumbling and crayons. Really? I told you that's because it was a mistake. They didn't have the courage to tell her that she had made a mistake. That's why there was no press on the bus. And especially Robert Jobson, where would he sit? They could have laid Robert Jobson across one of those benches on the back, though. Due to our truly insane amount of orders that we've gotten, the current production time for all orders placed today is approximately 8 weeks. Now, that is a nice problem to have, isn't it? 8 weeks. You see what Megan's done? 8 weeks. So, this is what happens when Megan appears wearing one of your sweatshirts in a 1 minute and 36-second video. No wonder their orders are taking I'm sorry, no wonder one more time. No wonder why others are talking about not wanting to be defined by clothes. I love that. Oh, I love the shade. I love the shade. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. That's because the others, their clothes has no definition. Um, oh, and by the way, look at the old Singer sewing machine. Check that out. Wait a minute. Look at the old Singer sewing machine. Now, if that is the machine that they're referring to, yeah, that is an oldie. That is an oldie. An old-fashioned Singer sewing machine. I remember growing up, my sister used to have one of those. I don't think I've ever seen her use it, but those things weigh a ton, just in case you've well, I'm pretty sure most of you baby boomers have encountered the Singer sewing machine. They weigh a ton. Oh my goodness, those things are super, super heavy. Let's see. Thank you for the love. Our shop is taking a short break to catch up on all the orders we've received. In the meantime, please sign up below to be notified when our shop is back in stock. We appreciate your love and support for our small handmade business. And right there, see, you can join the wait list. I am very, very happy for whoever the lady is. I'm very happy for her. Okay, that's another quote from People Magazine. And then here on the right, it says, and with that, the shop has officially reached maximum capacity. We are taking a short break to work through all of the orders you've placed in the last 48 hours. In the meantime, join the wait list to be notified when the shop is restocked. Oh, okay. That is from their Instagram. Ah, okay. Wait. Where did that go? Okay. TMCD says, Baron, I still have an antique sewing machine. Bravo. Bravo. That is so cool. Let's see. The hand embroidery reminds me of my junior high school days when our first thing was hand stitched in navy on our gym shirt. You know, it reminds me of Laverne and Shirley. I'm thinking Laverne and Shirley. That's what the hand stitch reminds me of. It reminds me of Laverne and Shirley because Laverne always wore the letter L on everything. She put that L on everything. That was a nice touch for that character. I'd never seen that before or since, where everything had the letter L on it. Okay. Now, right here it says, see Kate Middleton help teen with cancer achieve bucket list dream. Well, Sussex Soldier says, I have a better question for the double face hypocrites here. Why is it okay for Kate Middleton, but not okay for Meghan Markle? Is it because Kate is white and Meghan is biracial? Why didn't she stay quiet about that below? Why did we need to know? And see, that is a good question because the very hateful British tabloid media, everyone, all hands on deck, they have all criticized Meghan for making that video. All of them. Meghan's excitement for being able to help a young lady who lost everything, everything. The one thing, I mean, what do you do when you come across a 15-year-old kid that is digging through the ashes of what used to be their home, and they say, I don't care about anything else. I just want my Billie Eilish souvenir shirt. What else do you do but say, let me see what I can do about that, right? What a sweet gesture. And in the excitement, you post a video on social media. Now, the one thing that none of those evil people that write those terrible columns or show up on television, the one thing that they will never say is, gee, Megan closed down her Instagram with 3 million followers. I bet it must feel really good to be able to express yourself to your followers again, right? That's such common sense. But they cannot acknowledge something like that because that would be to humanize Megan. And God forbid they should ever do that. So instead, you have someone like Jan Moore referring to Megan as Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette? Do you understand the level of mental gymnastics that it takes to compare Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, a self made woman, to Marie Antoinette, whose birth was a matter of state, whose child birth was a matter of state? Her marriage, everything was a matter of state. Her wedding night, a matter of state. Now compare that to Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, Rachel Meghan Markle, if you will. Compare that to someone who has been an advocate and an activist since childhood. There is no connection there. And I mean, they were out in force today. All of them, all of them showing their little ugly, smug faces with nothing but hate in their blood for someone who enjoyed a spontaneous moment. And thank God Meghan is living her best life. She wanted to share that moment with the people, the however many people that have followed her on Instagram. She wanted to share that moment. And so what? That moment was hers to share. Instead of one of the courtiers waking you out of your afternoon nap where you're on the phone talking to your mom, or better, going over to your mom's house to get you and bring you to Windsor Castle because someone just had the bright idea. Oh, wait a minute. William's about to meet with some people. Why don't we go get Kate? This will give us something to do. Kate wasn't even supposed to be there. That's the real rub of this. She wasn't even supposed to be there. And as Sussex Soldier says, multiple cameras were there. Why were the media there? Why not do it in private? It is a complete and utter double standard. But good for Meghan, good for Harry, that they are not going to allow, they are not going to tolerate this idea that they really want them to hide behind the walls of their mansion, right? They want them to hide and lay low. What today was about was not only the usual vitriol and bile. What today was a warm up. They are warming up. They're in the warm up pen. They're practicing. Like any athlete, they're practicing. They're warming up because it is going to be a very busy time starting Saturday. And you know why? It's going to be very busy because they are going to have two things that they have to do. One, they really don't care to do, but they have to, and that's cover the rest of the family. The other is covering the Invictus Games. They're going to cover the Invictus Games, and they are going to give far more coverage to the Sussexes. But per invisible contract, they are obliged to give coverage to the rest of the riffraff, even though most people truly do not care, and they don't. They barely get noticed for the things that they do. And the further you get away from Will and Kate, the less interested most people are. So that's what they're doing. That's why today they were all over Meghan like a cheap suit, because they're warming up for next week. Meghan's Instagram is none of their flipping business. What she does with her Instagram, who she reaches out to, what she promotes, that is none of their business. But they will make it their business because the left behind royals are so boring. They're so boring. They need Harry and Meghan so that they can pay their mortgage, so they can pay for their cars or their second home or whatever they have. They need Harry and Meghan. You wouldn't know it by the way they treat them, but they need them. And they need those twisted individuals that they cater to, the derangers, the MAGA and Brexit people. They need them too. Otherwise, they would have nothing. It is quite a way to earn a living, I must say. Who would have thought that that was a thing? But it is. It is. Let me share this with you. Um, let me share this with you. This is one of those events where they tried to bill it as being spontaneous. They tried to sell it as, oh, it's just the mom making a promise or keeping a promise to her children, right? That is how they sold it.
Do you mind to seeing the royal family are legitimising the horrendous conditions that people in the UK are being forced into as part of an awful PR campaign? So the royals have recently been visiting a baby bank as part of the many poverty safaris that they like to undergo. If you're wondering what the baby bank is, it's a charity that provides essentials to families in extreme need. We are a G7 country. Now, there is nothing wrong with doing charity work. The issue is when people do it to boost their own personal profile and polling and fail to acknowledge why they have to do said charity work in the first place. So basically what the royal family is doing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, we've yet to see a royal attend one of the 1,400 food banks that we've got in this country operated by the Trussell Trust and say that the reason we have so many is because of Tory economic and social policy over the last 13 years. And people will say, well, the royals can't be political, but they are. I mean, just excluding the reasons behind a monarchy for a moment, their existence in this context is to be the friendly face of inequality and normalise these charities that exist because the Tories have created such dire living standards that people wouldn't survive without them. This is part of why we see the UK slipping back into Victorian levels of inequality, because poverty is being normalised and not eliminated. We don't need shameless PR stunts motivated by a desperate need to beat racism allegations. We need meaningful action and change. I mean, take homelessness for example. The UK charity crisis estimates it will cost 1.9 billion to completely eradicate poverty in this country. The royal family has an estimated net worth of 21 billion, which includes a vast property empire. Do you see what we're getting at here? But if you take one thing away from this, please remember that charity exists because the state has failed in its duty of care to its citizens. The reason that we have people suffering in our country the way they are is because political choices have been made to ensure that. Do you mind to seeing the royal family are legitimising the horrendous conditions that people in the UK are being forced into as part of an awful PR campaign? So the royals have recently been visiting a baby bank as part of the many poverty safaris that they like to undergo. If you're wondering what the baby bank is, it's a charity that provides essentials to families in extreme need. We are a G7 country. Now, there is nothing wrong with doing charity work. The issue is when people do it to boost their own personal profile and polling and fail to acknowledge why they have to do said charity work in the first place. So basically what the royal family is doing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, we've yet to see a royal attend one of the 1,400 food banks that we've got in this country operating.
Okay, so it does repeat the same thing, but I decided to add some extra images to the young man's voice. By the way, that is the Champagne Socialist, and he's on I'm sorry, on what is it? TikTok. But my point is, if you look at the image in the background there, that visit to the baby bank, it involved a camera crew following Kate to the baby bank. The camera crew followed Kate to the baby bank. So it was really a scripted moment. Dress up like a suburban mom with her children, hop into one of the several institution vehicles. In this case, I think it was one of the estate wagons or station wagons, whatever they call it, over there. And then, just like any other family, they went to the baby bank. And Kate got out, the kids ran. It was very sweet. But it wasn't Kate spontaneously doing just a trip to the baby bank. It was a theatrical production, as usual. And these people got the caucasity to bore us with their feelings about Meghan posting an Instagram video, which she has the right to do. That is none of their business. If you want to cover it, but save the poison and the toxin for somebody else, for someone who deserves it. I mean, I am just about fed up with it. I really am. It defies logic. That's what it is. It's the insult. It's insulting because it defies logic. There's no logic to it. Let's see. One of the people that I saw today, I'm trying to remember how she framed it. She said that the fact that Meghan had no makeup on was deliberate, not to mention brave, but that was deliberate. But she must have planned this because you could see that her hair was done. Oh my goodness. Her hair was done. Now, I know, and just about everybody knows, Meghan will pull that hair back in the bun in a heartbeat and could care less what anybody thinks about it. But that particular moment, she had her hair down. That was it. Her hair was down. She enjoyed it a hair down a day. But I would rather doubt that Meghan's hair was in that flowing state because she knew she was going to post something to Instagram. You could look at countless images of Meghan's TIG where she had her hair pulled back, she had a hat on, whatever the case was, it was not a big glamour moment every time she posted something. Meghan doesn't need that. And dare I say, well, no, I'm not. Never mind. Let me take a look at a couple of your comments here. Okay, I'll just say this. There's a lot of people who doesn't mind Meghan pulling her hair back away from her face, but there is a powerful, large group of people that would be rather put off if some members of that family, several members of that family, were to ever pull their hair back away from their face. I know people who would pay good money for them to grow their bangs out even longer, or fringe, as you guys say in the UK. Yeah, your fringe isn't long enough for my taste or theirs. But anyway, I digress. Okay, let's go on to something else. Let's take a look here. The Ministry of Defense. Next stop, Invictus Games, Canada. Inspirational members of the UK Armed Forces community have just departed for Invictus Games 25 in Canada. The games are one way the MOD, what is MOD? And the Poppy Legion um, support personnel and personnel and veterans with their recovery following illness or injury. And Keir Starmer says, wishing the best of luck to Team UK ahead of the game, Invictus Games, blah, 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 on Saturday. Okay, thank you, Keir Starmer. Oh, Ministry of Defense, MOD. Thank you very much. And check this out. Look at there. Merch, 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 merch. Give me bags of merch, 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 merch. Remember that song? Merch, 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 merch. Gotta get a bag of merch, merch, merch. Where have I heard that song? Merch, 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 merch. Give me a bag of merch, merch, merch. But anyway, that is a bunch of volunteers, I suspect. And obviously, they have spent hours kitting up those bags of merch for the contestants. So that is going to be pretty cool. Just think all of the nice merch they're going to have when they leave, stuff that they can use every day to remind them of the Invictus Games. That is going to be absolutely amazing. And of course, the stairway that leads to the arena. Very cool. Well, I'm trying to help Rihanna. Yeah, I want to help Rihanna introduce that song to a whole new generation of listeners. So, Roy Anika, let's get back to this spot of bother. The Princess of Wales wants to focus on her public work to be on substance, not style. Well, that should be easy. So, see how that rolls off the tongue? Substance, not style. That should be easy. So, Kensington Palace will no longer release details of Kate's outfits on her engagements. Now, you know what? Some of those horrible people I saw earlier today, they were rather bothered by that. They didn't like the idea that the palace or Kensington Palace has determined to keep that information to themselves. Because, as far as they're concerned, if you're out at these engagements and you don't want to share what you're wearing with people, then you're not fulfilling your duty as a royal, I guess. But for whatever reason, they just seem to think that things would go better for Kate if she was to share that information, or the palace would share that information. Now, as one of the squaddies pointed out, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant, we know this is not just about Kate wanting to focus on substance. It's because of that embarrassing situation where she goes to meet with Holocaust survivors and sits a Chanel bag, not just a Chanel bag, but a vintage Chanel bag. She puts a vintage Chanel bag on the table from Chanel Coco Chanel, the collaborator. Gabrielle, her Christian name, Gabrielle Chanel, the collaborators. They actually uh, had to, I guess, accept the fact that the Princess of Wales was so thoughtless that she just set the bag up there on the table, a bag which she really didn't have to wear with her that day. She could just grab something else, something that was not from a collaborator, but she did. And there were people that pointed it out. And I'm sure there were people there that noticed it, but they were just too polite to say so. But trust me and believe when I say it did not go unnoticed. I'm sure it didn't. I'm sure they noticed it, but they were just too polite because they know that she's not wrapped too tight. You know what I mean? And of course, Kate's toned down outfit sends a message of substance over style. As Princess of Wales dons high street neck and trousers for National Portrait Gallery visit. Uh huh. The ill-fitting outfit that she's wearing, uh, it doesn't matter whether she had on something with all kinds of details or whether she tones it down. It does not matter. Whatever she wears, it just doesn't really move the dial. Oh, by the way, the other thing that they said about Kate not wanting to discuss her fashion choices, they say that the fashion industry in the UK is bigger than coal and some other resource, and that being such big business in the UK, that it's not really the right thing to do for her to not disseminate that information to the press because, I mean, after all, you're there to represent the country. And if you're representing the country, then you're representing the fashion industry. That would help so many people who depend on fashion for their jobs. Now, I say that just to be polite, but the truth is, whether or not Kate mentions what she's wearing, at best, is probably going to help two or three people, and those are the two or three people who that are just not savvy enough to go on the computer and look themselves. But in terms of Kate rescuing the fashion industry, I mean, look at her. Does that look like someone who's going to rescue fashion? She more looks like somebody who's holding fashion hostage. That's what she looks like. That's not anyone that's going to rescue fashion. No, that looks like a fashion assassin. That's what that's what I look at. I look at her and I see a fashion assassin. I don't see anybody who has walked out the house that day hell bent on saving the British fashion industry. Nothing could be further from the truth. This is going to be the undoing of the fashion industry. This is going to be one of those seminal moments when they realize that ever since Kate walked out there in the National Portrait Gallery, dressed like some kind of hobo, a vagabond, with that hit or miss, here or there fashion choice she made. I mean, let's look at it. She has on those ridiculous pinstripe big leg pants. And I promise you, I'm not just saying this. Doesn't it look like she has those trousers on backwards? Does she realize that the snap and the zipper goes in the front? If you're wearing a dress, the zipper goes in the back. If you're wearing trousers, chances are the zipper is in the front. Does she not know that? Because it looks to me like she's got it on backwards. I'm just saying. I cannot unsee it. And now that I pointed it out, you cannot unsee it. Yes, very frumpy. But don't forget, Bunny Rose, it's up to Kate to rescue the British fashion industry. All I can say is if she's going to save the fashion industry, who's going to save her? Huh? If she's going to rescue the fashion industry, who's going to rescue her? Because I think she needs rescuing more than anybody. In the face of her charitable mission and personal battles, she must still face Kate's wardrobe, no matter how beautiful might at first appear a banal detail that obscures a more important message. But I would caution her to think again. Well, listen, if I had a nickel for every time somebody cautioned her to think again before she walked out of the palace dressed like God knows what, I could probably retire. By seemingly by seeming to downplay the importance of her clothes, she is also downplaying the first and most fundamental purpose of modern royalty as a what is that absorbing and symbolic form of national entertainment. Well, I tell you, not only have I been entertained by Kate's fashion choices, I have been thoroughly amused by some of her fashion choices. Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong one. There we go. I should be over here. I have not only been entertained, but I have been amused by some of her fashion choices. I mean, some of the best days I've had since Christmas 2023 was some of her fashion choices. I think oh gosh, what was it? Oh, I know. You remember the old TV show? Was that the Twilight Zone? Or was that another TV show? Remember they said the strange, the bizarre, and the unexpected. Well, that describes Kate's fashions right there. That right there describes her fashion. The strange, the bizarre, and the unexpected. Uh, leave it to Kate. Leave it to Kate. Okay. Let me see here. Try that one right there. Oh yeah, Ripley's Believe It or Not, right? Ripley's Believe It or Not, the strange, the bizarre, and the unexpected. I think that was that their little phrase that they used. The strange, the bizarre, and the unexpected. Like for instance, this outfit, where Kate decided that she would um wait, no, that's not it. Is it? Duchess of Drab. Yeah, this is from the other day. Even back in 2016, they were remarking how boring her fashions were. Back in 2015, Why Drab Kate's No Match for Stylish Die by Margaret Atwood, Canadian author, dismisses Duchess as uneventful dresser who is told what to wear by advisors. I don't think so. I don't think advisors could be that cruel. I don't think anybody could be that cruel to tell that girl to dress like that before she leaves the house. Okay, these are my slides from the other day. Oh well, let's get back over here. And of course, nothing punctuates the whole idea of Kate's fashions other than Kate with that very dazed and confused look and the little girl with her finger stuck in her nostril. That sums it up right there. You see, Kate has been working a lot lately, and you can see the strain of having to do as much work as the average working adult, which, of course, this really is not work. She's just hanging out. But my point is, she's actually putting the time in for a change. She works several days straight, which is huge for her. But again, it's only because of Harry and Meghan that she's doing that. Has the Meghan effect influenced Kate to stop sharing her outfit details? No, it wasn't Meghan. Princess may be distancing herself from sister in law's strategy of monetizing her style by wearing clothes from brands she's invested in. Now, that is a huge lie. The only thing that I know of that Meghan is invested in is the purses, right? I don't even think she's invested in that hat company. I think it's just the purses, the straw purses. That's it. And I just want you to know in this article, they didn't list all of these so called companies that Megan was invested in. That's because it does not exist. It does not exist. And so rather than name them, they just recalled the one company and used that as something that Megan does all the time. It is exceptional for Megan to invest in any company, let alone any of the fashion companies. So that is absolutely misleading. And I'm still trying to pick my jaw up off the floor. I am still trying to pick my jaw up off the floor. Queen Camilla has incredibly young skin, says the official royal facialist. Now, see, that's the problem right there. She's using a facialist when she really needs an esthetician, right? I don't know what a facialist is. Or does everybody in Britain say facialist? Because I think here they say esthetician. So, but whatever the case may be, it just goes to show if you pay people enough money, they'll say anything. And then I thought about it. You know what? If Kate really wants to put on those dull, boring coats that she wears, and she wants to level up her look, she needs to start doing like Jennifer Lewis. If she really wants to level up, she has to do like Jennifer Lewis and just kick that leg up. That's what she needs to do. If you want people to notice your boring fashions when you step out, just kick your leg up, right? Just pretend like you're one of the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes and kick that leg up. And pretty soon, everybody is going to notice you. Everybody. It works for Jennifer Lewis. Yep, it works for Jennifer Lewis. Just kick your leg up. See how all the people in the background are marveling at the way Kate has that leg up in the air? All she got to do is pretend like she's getting out of the taxi, but just do it out on the street instead of in the back of the taxi. And you know what? I just thought about it. If she can kick her leg up, maybe Camilla can pull her face up. That's a twofer. I'm giving advice to two royals in one podcast. But yeah, that should work. Just kick that leg up. uh, Obsession. Let's not forget about the obsession. Now, as you can see here, Prince Harry, this is how much they actually write articles about the royal, the percentage of interest that the royals have. Harry is garnering 3,326 articles compared to Meghan with 2,846, William 2,336, Charles 1,792, Kate, as you can see, they don't really write about Kate that much. It seems like it, but they don't. And then, of course, Camilla, rare as steel that they write about her. And then, if you take a look here, left leaning coverage is, in some cases, it's the majority for like Kate Middleton. But if you look at Prince Harry and, oh, look at that, Meghan gets more of the right wing coverage than anybody. That means, to me, I'm going to take that to mean hateful coverage. I'm going to take it to mean that. But yeah, this is that graphic that was part of that Feminagra article. So I did give you guys the link for that Feminagra article. I'll try to put it on the post tab later. You guys, that is a picture of my refrigerator. I decided, since there is a shortage, that I would stock up on eggs. Yeah, since there is a shortage, I decided to stock up because there is a shortage of eggs, and I believe it was one of those Costco stores. They had just put some eggs out, and they sold out immediately. So yeah, eggs are very expensive, and they're going fast. So I decided I would stock up on them. Now, one thing's for sure, because of the high price of eggs, Charles doesn't have to worry as much as he did before because people can't afford to throw eggs. They just can't afford it. Which, unfortunately, I feel as though I need to take up a collection for the egg guy there because you know, trooping, what is, no, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Commonwealth Day is coming up. Commonwealth Day is coming up. So I want to, do a GoFundMe so we can get some eggs for him, just in case he's hungry. Plus, he's not allowed to buy them himself. So I think we should take up a collection for him. What do you all think? Just in case he needs them. Yeah, just in case. And then this is the last thing right here. One of the very desperate derangers said, "Please join me in celebrating 9 days of Catherine by posting uplifting posts and photos of Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales, commending on the 8th of February and concluding on the 16th of February. Let's hear her roar, Lioness of Windsor." Oh, God. Ugh. I just felt acid coming up the back of my throat. And then, of course, she finishes off this awful post by putting "I Am Woman" sung by Helen Reddy. Seriously? Now, the only reason why she wants to do this is because she wants to try to draw attention away from Harry and Meghan, mostly Meghan, because Meghan is going to be, you know, the center of attention when she shows up at Invictus. We all know that. And she wants to try to steal her thunder. That's why she wants to do this, because all eyes are going to be on Canada, and everybody knows it. I am Mumbo, hear me bore in numbers too big to ignore. Yes, I am Mumbles. I am Mumbles. I am a bore. Anyway, that is so sad and pathetic. That is so sad and pathetic. They they want to try to save Kitty. They want to try to save her dignity. I added those photos to this myself because I thought it was a way to demonstrate what a woman she is. The fact that she was way ahead of the curve wearing that see through monstrosity of a dress. Anyway, you guys, thank you very much. And thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. I will see you all tomorrow. You know what, guys? There may be some sightings of our faves tomorrow because, well, um, Saturday is the start of Invictus. So who knows? We might just see them Saturday, or we may actually see some movement tomorrow. We never know. But whatever the case may be, I am here for it. So, love you guys. Thank you very much, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. Um, and let's see. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Diane Hawkins. Oh, thank you, Heather Stroud. Okay, see you all. Let me see. What are we closing with today? I'll change the outro. There we go. That one's good. Thank you, Connie Bomber. Thank you, Elaine Parker, Plus Size Berry, Thomas Clark, Olive Perry. All right. We're good. Okay, good night.